Hi everybody, it's Jeff. Before I forget, to those that celebrated, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, big thing here in the States. This will be part 3 of the Meng Whippet 1/35th scale. Got quite a bit done. We stopped at step 4, so we picked up at step 5, and I've got everything test fitted clear up till like step 13. Okay, I don't have anything painted yet. That's going to be the next step. So I'll show you what we're doing or what I got going on, and I'll have a few pictures at the end. But let's go down to the bench and take a look, okay? Be right back. Okay, I'll show you where I'm at on things. The sprues that I haven't touched yet are in here. Well, I've touched them all, but the parts I haven't touched. Here's where I'm at so far. I recycled these containers. Sliced turkey came in them. I love my sliced turkey, but I recycle these, and they make great containers for keeping all your modeling stuff sorted. So let's take a look here. Here's the hole. I put a piece of paper towel on the bottom just to keep things from shaking around. There's the bottom of the tank, A10. And here's our crew compartment. Okay, and here's parts for the next couple of steps. Actually, well, these are for step 5, and I believe these are for step 6. And then everything here is for step 8 and beyond, I believe. I did get the tracks put together. They're very easy to put together. I'll show you. They just snap together. They do give you some extra pieces. The pins that put these together are very delicate, and a few of them actually snapped on me. So I'm glad I had some extras. But I'll keep them until I'm all done. But the tracks, I think there's 68 links in each track. So there's 3 connecting points on each one. So that's quite a few little pieces to sand. And we've got lots and lots of wheels and gears and various bits and pieces. Okay, so I've got them all in a container and I've got them all labeled. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Okay, but I like to keep all my stuff organized best I can. I can't work on a bench that's just, got about this much room for working and stuff everywhere. If you can, that's great. I'm just not that well organized, I guess. Or I can't keep it straight that way. Let's go ahead and switch over to the overhead, and we'll get the instructions on the screen. There's the overhead, and we'll switch this over to instructions. And we'll put the instructions in the corner. Alright, that was easy. And I've got my airbrush cleaner. So this is where we left off. Let's zoom this in a bit. We've got B11, B9, and A17. Okay. And that's for that. Well, let's see. Let's put this stuff back here. There's B9, A17, and B11. Okay, this is a little hatch. Fits real well. So let's go ahead and glue that on. I gotta lose these glasses. This one here, probably be easiest to glue it from the back. Just make sure, well, let's see. There's a nice little place here we can glue to. That'll get it on there. And then if we want to, we can glue it some more from the back. Okay. It just barely covers the hole. Fact is, there's a little gap one side or the other. Let's try and center it. That looks pretty good. Put just a touch of glue on the back edge. Okay. A17. Come on. There we go. It's really good. And this one here, I think I can put some glue around these little lugs here. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Yeah, it might be a little bit better. Okay. It all fits really well. And then we have this grab handle that'll go here. There's two little holes. I'm not sure that hole on the inside is right up against the side there. I might need to sand it just a little bit to get it to go. Yeah, I am. I'm going to have to sand the end of one of these just a tiny little bit. It's always good to test fit. Before the glue comes out. See how it fits now. Looks good. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Okay, let's move it on over. What they want you to do next is put the crew compartment in the main chassis. So I'm going to give that stuff just a minute to firm up. What we'll need to do this fits really well. Just like so. We'll get one side and then the other. It fits really well. Okay. I'm going to get this glue joint and this glue joint from the inside. Be mindful of that little grab rail there. Let's see here. Give it a sec. Okay. If you can see. Okay. This side needs to go down just a tiny little bit. This one edge here wants to lift just a tiny little bit. I'll have to glue it and then hold it for a little bit. Not too much trouble. It's amazing how this stuff capillaries. Okay. I'm going to just, there's really no easy way to clamp this. I'm just going to hold this for a few seconds, or maybe a minute or two, and then I'll be right back, okay? Okay, it's been maybe 30 minutes or so. Everything seems to firm up really, really good. I've got a couple of minor little issues. I'm not even sure if I'm going to address them. I've got a very slight gap right there, barely noticeable. I've got a real slight gap right there. I don't even think I'm going to fill them, but I'm really impressed with the way this has all gone together for all these, all these parts and all these angles. It came out real well. I don't think I'll probably mess with those slight little gaps right there. They're just not hardly enough. I think that they'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and move on. The next thing we have, this is A10 and this is A5. It's just a little bit of detail. There's a wide tab and a narrow tab, or a long and a short one. so that you don't get these backwards. Okay, this is the bottom. Now I'm not actually going to attach the bottom quite yet, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. I'll go ahead and glue that in. Okay, nothing to it. Just a little bit of airbrush cleaner. Stuff really evaporates quickly. Might even be too quick. Okay. Might have to do it a little bit of gluing from the back side. Yeah, drop a little bit in here. As it does, I could have used like Contacta because it's a real wide surface, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, that looks good. Okay, make sure I don't have any glue on my hands anywhere. What we're supposed to do is this is supposed to go here. Okay, it fits really good. The only reason, well, the main reason I don't want to glue it, and I was watching Nigel over at Nigel's modeling bench build one of these, and he recommended leaving this off till the end because we're going to glue some more pieces on here for the tracks and everything, and it would be nice to be able to clamp to this. So if I leave this off, then I can get a clamp in there to hold things down, and then this is real easy to just pop in later. So I'm not going to put this on quite yet. Okay, let's bring this up just a tiny bit. Okay. So this I'm going to say back. That's been glued in. And we'll go ahead and move on. So that's going to be the end of 5 for now. On 6, we've got some more pieces that need to be folded. So let me put this back in a box. Set that up there. Okay, this is going to be, we've got the gas tank at the front of the tank. So this is A4, A1. This is the top and this is the bottom. And then we have the left and right sides. Okay, that'll be the left side, the right side. These are a couple of spacers that go in the middle, and then we've got these little brackets that'll go on. So we've got creases in the back of these again that'll need to be folded. And I'm thinking I'm going to use my hairdryer again. What I want to do is I want to try and get that to conform to that angle. Okay, so I just don't know about bending that without a little bit of heat. So it goes this way. Okay. So let me get these bent and I'll be right back. You saw me working on the other one, so it's the same technique. Be right back, guys. Whoops, see, I think it broke. Well, I think it's almost a break. Okay, I think that's going to work out. Looks pretty good. Okay, there's both of them bent. It does get hot. That glove's pretty handy. Okay. What I've got, let's put those aside for now. These are spacers. I'll go ahead and glue this together first. The two little holes will go to the top, so these are going to be like so. Try to keep everything on camera here. Okay. Okay. And the top one is this one with a little bump on it. That's A1. And the top is where these two little holes are here. So this goes here. Okay. So let's get the main part. I gotta lose these glasses again. Okay. And we've got the other two angles to do here. I think I can get that from the inside. These tanks, they had a big red and white stripe on the front and on the sides also, just to identify their tanks. The British did that. Try and eliminate the chance of them attacking their own. Okay, let's go this way. Tiny bit of a gap there. I think it'll close up just fine. Okay, from the inside. Okay, and then before we get too far along, let's make sure it sits on here correctly. Looks good. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that on before I add those two small parts there. So let's go ahead and do it. I ought to be using a thicker glue for this. We'll see how this goes. For big wide joints, something slower. Just like better. Looks like it'll be okay. Okay. Okay, two more pieces. We've got, let's bring this back in. A14 and A15. That's these here. And they will go with the fold toward the back, like so. Okay. Just a touch. Okay, before those set up entirely, let's just take a straight edge and check it out. That needs to go back. Okay, I'm happy with that. There's our gas tank and our crew compartment all on. And let's see here. The next, we've got some, I'm not going to put the machine guns on yet. I've got them all cleaned up. I want to paint them separately, so I'll leave those off. But we can go ahead and get a lot of the little vents and tow hooks and things on there. So let's get into my boxes. And let's see here. Set this aside for a minute. And see what I've got here. Oh, they're already out. Sorry. Here's the machine guns. I'm going to save those back because I want to paint those all separately. A lot easier to do that and add them at the end. So I'm going to set that over here. Okay. We've got exhaust pipes, which I think I can paint in place okay. These were recessed in the end just a little bit. I think it'll be enough. Normally if they're flat on the end I go ahead and drill them out, but I think we're okay. We've got 3 vents. We'll go across here. So let's go ahead and get those on. Okay, 3 on this side. Got a hair in there. Let's put a little more glue on it. I've got just a little more work to do on the Canadian armored machine gun carrier. It's been so cold I haven't been able to open the window and do any painting. I need to do another clear coat and then just a little bit of weathering, and that'll be all done. Hopefully it's going to warm up here in the next day or two, but it's been getting really cold. Winter's here. Okay, got that on. Now we've got 2 really small grab handles to put on too. Let's see. Let's look into these. Let's see. Make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. These exhaust pipes. Whoop! There's a ejector pin on the back side of that one I didn't see. Take care of that real quick. I suppose there's one on the back of both of them. No, nothing on that one. Okay. Okay. There we go. Glue there. some little details. This does have actually 2 engines in it. I think I mentioned that at one point. Okay, there's the exhaust pipes. Now what I was going to say, I've got 2 D21s. They're very, very small, and one of them was a little bit damaged. They go here. Okay. I've left the sprue connecting points on them because it's easier to handle them, and then I could snip that off once I get it in place. But trying to get everything lined up, they are pretty darn delicate. So let's there's a little bit of a ejector pin on here. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of that. Ooh, I don't know where that went. Okay, this is the one that's a little damaged. I straightened it out quite a bit. We need to get it lined up and in those holes. Yeah, it'll go. And then we can cut the sprue connecting point off once we're done. Alright, there we go. Just hold it a second. And then that side came out. Okay. Now what I can do is I can come back after that sets up real good, and I can just nip that off. Okay. And the other side. About even. Okay. Now I'm not going to touch those until they set up really good. Okay, that's going to pretty well complete step 5. Or 6, I'm sorry, step 6. I'll trim those off later after everything is set up real well. So let's go ahead and set that aside and we'll look at step 7. The N7 is lots and lots of little wheels. And my parts. Okay. We've got D11 and 12. We've got to make 10 of them. D19 and D20. We have to make 18 of those. D5 and D6, we have to make 14 of those. And D17, D9 and D16, we have to make 2 of those. And then D14, 15, D10, D3, and D8. We need to do 2 of those. Obviously, there's no point in doing all these on camera. It's just kind of repetitious, but I want to show you all the parts that go into it. I spent a lot of time because almost all these had, you know, at least 2 connection points that needed to be sanded. Some had 3. But let's we've got D11 and 12 here. These are actually keyed, and I think the idea is that you want to keep the holes going the same direction in the middle. But there is a little key. So in order to get them in there right, you have to try and line that little key up, and then just push them together with some glue in them, and that's about all there is to it. The biggest thing is try and keep them square with each other. Okay, so I'll put this one together. There's no point in doing all these on camera. Try and keep them as square as you can. Okay. There's one. 9 more to do. Okay. Whoops, and I'm making a mess. Here's the one I glued. The D19 and D20 is the same thing. Okay. These are not keyed. You just go together like so. There again, you try and keep them as square as you can. It's not bad when you put these together to give them just a little twist. It kind of spreads the glue out in there. Okay, so that's D19 and D20. 1 down, 17 to go. D5 and D6. Okay, same thing. These are just spaced different. If you look, they're like inside and outside. The track will run between them. So those need to go there. These need to go here. So let's do the same thing. Put them together and give them just a little bit of a turn. Spread that glue out good. You can almost feel it grabbing in there. That's D5 and D6. Okay, 13 more of those to go. And this one is not too difficult. We can do these on camera. This is D16, 17, and 9. Okay, we've got a little, there it is, little spacers. And they're keyed in there. So these go in the center and keep everything lined up. Like so. And then the other side, I don't know why they put these little holes in the back right here, because they don't line up with, I mean they line up with the pins, but the pins don't go into them. They just kind of go up to them. So that's the idler sprockets right there. So we can go ahead and let's do this. Bring it down just a little bit. Maybe you can see a little better. Let's get this out. Maybe. Nice tight fit. Woo, lots of glue. Come on. Okay. That one, and then one of these. And it's all keyed. Okay, that's about all there is to that. We can go ahead and do the other one. Too much glue. Doesn't really take very much. Okay. There's D 16, 17, and 9. So those are done. These here are very similar. This is, let's move this over a little bit. We've got the two, they're drive chains, and then we've got two center spacers. And then we've got inside and outside sprockets. Okay. So what we need to do, and I'm missing something. D10, maybe I didn't cut those from the sprue. I thought I did. Let me check real quick. Oh, they're still here. Okay. That's good. Guess I was getting tired when I was doing that. There's D10 right there. And we'll cut that back a little bit and then I'll clean it up. There's one of them. There's the other one. Okay. Okay. Don't think that's really going to need too much in the way of cleanup. I'm not sure just how it fits. Or maybe I should say how well it fits. Okay, here's the sprocket. Supposed to, looks like it goes in from this side. Okay. I'll clean this one up. Okay, so we've got, let's see, an inside and an outside sprocket. These are keyed. That will set in there. Then we've got, whoops, wait a minute. This will go through here. Then it'll go into there. And then to there. And that one's keyed. So we've got lots of little pieces to get lined up correctly. That doesn't seem to, unless I've got the wrong one. Yep, I got the wrong one. That one. Okay. That's interesting. Yep, that's the right one. They're different on the inside. So what I'm going to do, okay, is we'll glue this to this. And both of those. Okay. And then we'll glue this to the back because it's keyed, and that could actually stand a little bit of, it's got a little flash on it. There we go. Yeah, that fits good. Okay. Okay. And if you notice, there's a little bit of slack in here. See? When I glue that other sprocket on the other side, I want to make sure all the teeth line up. So my best thing to do is to use the tracks to make sure that happens. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. Let's see, that probably needs a little sand also. Okay. That'd be good. There it goes. See, there's a lot of play. Okay, I'm going to let these firm up a little bit, and then I'll get the tracks. And we want to make sure these go on here in exactly the right spot so that the teeth all mesh. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, guys? It's been 10 minutes or so to let this one side firm up. My biggest concern is to make sure the tracks mesh properly. See, there's a key there, but there we go. Even when it is in the key, there's a lot of slack in it, an awful lot of slack. So I need to glue this and then set it in the track and make sure that all the teeth line up before the glue firms up. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Use these glasses once again. Okay, this track is really delicate. I actually had a couple of links break off when I was getting things kind of lined up here, but I'll sort it out. What we want to do is just wrap the track around and make sure everything lines up well. Okay, so when we go to put the track on for the final part, everything's good. So I'd say those are good. Okay, should be fine. So let's go ahead and be real gentle. Pull that off. That one should be good. Then we'll do the same thing with this one. So if you don't get your sprocket lined up just right, then later on you'll have a heck of a time getting your tracks to fit. See there again, there's a lot of slack. Okay. Making sure everything lines up good. Okay. Okay, that looks good. That way we know when we get to put the track on for the final time, everything's going to line up. Okay. Okay, let's get that off there real easy. And then we still have a couple of more parts to add there. These need to go in. There's a flange side here that will be to the outside, and this will go to the inside, so it'll be like so. So it looks like there's a flange to both sides once it's all done. Okay. Okay, those are good. I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera again, and I'm going to get all this stuff glued up. Okay, and then I'll be right back. See you in a bit. Alright, the wheels are all together. I did a little test fitting. I just want to show you kind of how this goes together. In step 8, we've got C3. Let's see here. And we've got a whole bunch of wheels that go on this. But there's more to it than that. But let me show you here. I haven't put this piece of track back yet. But that's what it looks like with the track around it. Okay. So let's go ahead and take this off. Track is kind of delicate. Be careful with that. Anyway, we have one, it's behind the tape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small wheels in there. Then we've got the dry sprocket and the return roller here. And then we've got all these wheels here. Okay, and as you can see, some of them have a flange and some of them don't. Okay, you got to follow this pattern down here. to see exactly what the order is that you need to do it in. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this apart. I was just doing a little test fitting. There's about 50 pieces just on each side by the time you count all the halves for the wheels and all that stuff. Get it apart here. Okay. This sits in the top here, like so. Covers all these wheels. So it's always good to test fit this kind of stuff. We've got that, and then we've got this. Okay. And that's kind of the way it all goes together. You got to make sure these are all in the right order. Some of these I had to drill out. I don't know if it was plastic that oozed out when I was gluing them together or what, but I had to take a drill bit and clean about half of them out. Here's our sprocket, all set, and our idler, and then this is like a mud guard. It's meant, when the track goes over the top, it's meant to push the mud out instead of falling right on top of the other rollers. This won't come out. Well, it might. I don't know if that'll come out with those in there or not. Yeah, it will. Okay. What I want to do is prime this, and I'll prime back in some of this stuff. You're not going to see the road wheels at all. You're not going to see these sprockets really to speak of. So I'll probably just prime those in black, and then when the tracks go on, you'll never see them again. But this is probably about as far as I'm going to go for today. Just wanted to kind of show you how that all works out. It's really good to test fit all this stuff. Okay. Oh, one thing I wanted to do, I glued these on earlier. Let's see, let's move some of this stuff back a little bit. I'll get some painting done, or some priming done, and then in the next video we'll get some of this stuff put together. This little handle here, they're real hard to handle by themselves, but if you, well, of course I got a hair on there. You leave a little bit of the sprue on there, and come back later with a good pair of nippers, snip it off. Maybe touch that with a sanding stick. But that's there. There we go. See, got the little grab handles here and here. There's going to be a lot more hooks and stuff around, but I like doing that when I can, as opposed to cutting everything off and then trying to handle those little parts. Okay, throw that stuff away. So that's step 8. Pretty much completed. We'll go ahead and go on with 9 next time. 9 I'll be putting this in, and the little rollers and stuff on top. But I want to get some of this stuff primed first before we start putting it together, or it's going to be, I just don't want to have any bare plastic showing after the tracks and everything go on. So let's call it good for this time, and I'll put that other one together and test fit it, and maybe I'll throw a couple of pictures up at the very end of where we're at, and we'll continue next time. Okay, everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving, I hope you guys have a great day. Don't eat too much turkey. I probably will. But we'll see you guys next time, okay? Thanks. Bye.